We all know someone that can't get out of their own way. They're always saying things that get them in hot water, tripping over their own feet, and when they're wrong, they can't admit it. We all know somebody like that, or you wouldn't be here. Today, we're just going to kind of update a little bit on the LTG beef that Phil is trying to start, I guess. The fallout from Kino. I mean, all this stuff is just constantly brought up. The same old, but we'll try to keep it entertaining here, y'all. We'll play some clips, and yeah, let's get into it.
Someone tipped $1 says, do you regret not taking the bag and dipping in the drama? You could have done things like gone on a honeymoon and other things. Who cares what kind of content you make? Well, that's the point. I care. My wife cares. We don't want me making content that is
Keyword is his wife cares, and we'll talk about why shortly.
harmful to a person or groups of people. Success at what cost? Well, I don't want to be stepping on people to become popular or prominent or successful. All right. I want to just do my own stuff and be successful on my own merits. In addition,
which he did, by the way, because he stepped on RTU to become successful when he was with Kino Casino, right? One of the first shows he did with Kino Casino was felting RTU, right? The last poker chip, reacting to RTU's June documentary so he could step over him with Kino Casino, Stuttering Craig, the second interview where he wanted redemption. He wanted to talk to Craig so he could get redemption for that first interview where he thought it went great until people started telling him, like, dude, that looked horrible for you. So that whole show was just him like fake smiling with Stuttering Craig on there, who was actually trying to tell him like, look, I don't want you to go down this rabbit hole you're going down. And DSP was just so fake through the entire thing. He really just wanted to get to the end where he could kick Stuttering Craig off of his show and say, fuck you. Mind you, he kicked Stuttering Craig off the show before he actually said, fuck you. But
once you open that Pandora's box of drama, if that's really what you become and you encompass and you get success because of it, now guess what? That's all you can do because no one will want to care about anything else you do. I was dangerously dancing on that razor's edge of my longtime fans and viewers were like, we don't want the drama and this is all he's given us. So we're going to leave. A lot of them, I'm serious. A lot of longtime fans actually contacted me and said,
he is actually right in a sense. I mean, even when he did the 666 podcast, he had people that were YouTube regulars in there being like, this is whack. I'm leaving. This is ridiculous. But it was mostly because Phil looked like such a fool, where his pride and his ego was so big that he had to do the big 666 snakening thing, and it was like, nobody's buying this garbage.
FYI, if things don't change soon, we can't stick around, and we've been with you for 15 years. You know, like we're here for gameplay, we're here for chill vibes, we're here to hang out with you. We don't care about what idiotic thing some moron said today that you're making fun of. We don't care about this person who said something about you and now you want to clap back. We like the fact that you've always ignored it. We like the fact that you were the guy who was above all of that. That's why you have longevity. Because you're oblivious to all the nonsensical vortex bullshit around you and you don't drag us into it.
What is he above exactly? Because as I'm recording this video, he's going on like a 15-minute tangent about low tier God every single day for the past week. He's been talking about low tier God. He's been tweeting at low tier God at like 3 in the morning. I mean, look at this. So he'll put out a tweet. I think this was probably about midnight his time. And it says, so LTG says I tweeted about him because I'm gay for him. He then demands that I provide footage of myself doing bench presses and squats. Yes, really. In order for the Street Fighter match to happen. One of us is happily married to a woman and one has a male co-signing roommate. Checkmate, bitch. He could have done without those last 2 sentences, to be honest. I mean, you could have just said one of us is happily married to a woman, though. Like, maybe the first sentence is true. But Phil has to have that public persona that he's a happily married man and he has a wife and he doesn't stare at Norman Reedus in the shower during Death Stranding. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Also, the checkmate bitch thing, really, that killed me. It's so flamboyant. Checkmate bitch. Like, that's what I picture, you know? Anyway, I forgot the point I was trying to make, so let's just keep watching.
So because of that, I had to soul search, you know? Do I stay the course and become more popular and prominent and make more money? Or do I take the risk of going my own path but losing all of that, right? And it was dangerous, but here we are, 8 months later. Well, I would argue, I guess you could say 5 months later, because really this all hit the fan in March, right? And I'm good. I'm literally good. I'm doing well. The streams are doing well. The content's doing well.
So now we've kind of changed this whole thing as I had to decide whether I wanted to keep doing drama content or I wanted to go and do my own thing and find success my own way. If we don't recall, DSP had a wrestling show with PPP. That wrestling show was incredibly boring. I mean, I don't watch wrestling, so, you know, to me, it was a slog to get through. But even during that show, like PPP would take shots at his wife and he wouldn't really notice or he wouldn't acknowledge it. PPP called his wife fat on X. Like the dude called your wife fat until you stopped working with him. And maybe that's why he mentioned his wife earlier, because she was the one that wanted DSP to stop working with these guys. And DSP had to put his foot down and be like, dude, you need to stop talking to my wife or I'm not doing anything with you anymore. I'm kicking you off my show. Of course, PPP's, he didn't back down. And we are where we are now. When DSP cut off ties with them because it was kind of obvious they didn't really want to work with DSP anymore. I kind of believe the fact that I'm kind of on the opinion side that they just kind of ran out of content that they wanted to work with Phil. It was too much. Like all the text messages that Phil ended up leaking were just like paragraphs. Like nobody wants to deal with that. Yeah, my wife's sick. My wife found religion. My mom's dying. Like, like all these sob stories that Phil would give them behind the scenes. It's just like, I'm a dude on the internet. Why are you texting me this stuff? So ultimately, I think that's what happened. The other thing is, Phil explains a story so many times. Like he'll be on a podcast explaining the story right now. He'll reiterate the story in a week, 2 weeks, a month from now. And he'll repeat that over and over. And then you get like 10 different renditions of a story because it fits the narrative that he's trying to make at that particular point. So today it was, I had to choose my own path to drama, blah, blah, because that was kind of the path that he was going down with this conversation right here. But next month it could be, well, those guys were losers. They were trying to pressure me into some questionable things, trying to get me to go to Hogan's Hangout. And I was just like, I didn't want to deal with those guys anymore. I thought it was weird. So I leaked all their DMs and had a podcast and stopped working with them. Like, who knows what his next story could be? It's never fully consistent. That's why people pick at Darkside Phil's stories so much, because for Phil being an honest dude, he can never just give an honest answer, it seems. There's always something in his answer that sounds off. Or if you followed the narrative all the way through, you were there for all this, you're like, that didn't happen,
What's the minimum wage per hour in Washington? No, I wouldn't know that. I don't work any job that's minimum wage. I'm far, far surpassed that.
But you don't even know what your state's minimum wage is? Is this why he's so out of touch when it comes to like money, when it comes to donations? Guys, all we need is a $21 contribution, just a small $21 contribution to get us to the goal right now. He's just so out of touch with reality. What makes this even worse is his wife works in retail, and retail is often close to minimum wage. Unless you're like a management position, a regional position, you're more often closer to minimum wage than not. So can you imagine your wife sitting in the other room and you're like, I don't make minimum wage. I'm far beyond that.
How would I know? That's not a matter that concerns. I am your king. Those matters, the pittance that is paid to the general populace, the peons, that does not concern me in any way. I don't know what that is. What a ridiculous question to ask me on my stream.
Not only is that just like a poor joke, because there's no punchline to it, right? You're just trying to play this, oh, I'm the king character. But a king doesn't beg for things. A king gets things. So if you're a king, why do you have to beg for money every day? Why do you got to ask your audience for money over and over? People should be throwing that at you, dude. You're a king, right? But then you're asking these same people that you're dumping on, that are peons, that are working these jobs, and then we'll proceed 5 minutes later to be like, all right, guys, let's get some tip super chats while you're dumping on the same people you're expecting money from.
Come on, let's get some support right now. One singular thing, anything. And then we'll continue on for another hour. Let's get one thing, anything. One thing. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter how hard you try.
Yeah, we'll stop that there. He just wants one singular thing. He wants anything. But when somebody super chatted him during his day stream to put $2 towards his GTA night stream, he said, that's negligible. I don't care about that. That's nothing. Unless you want to put a considerable contribution towards it, like $50, and maybe he didn't say the amount, then we could put it towards GTA. But when Phil doesn't get any money and he's desperate, he'll take those $1 tips, those $2 tips. He won't dump on you then, because it's something. And Phil needs something to feel fulfilled.
Someone tipped $2 as if I donate during this stream, can you count it towards GTA tonight? Well, if you do a significant contribution, and you're like, hey, this is $50, but just so you know, I want this to count towards GTA tonight because I really like GTA and I want it to stay in the rotation and yada yada, then yes.
That's what he's doing, but it's not significant, I guess.
If you're going to do a $2 tip, then no, it doesn't even matter. It's negligible. So far, your $2 tip, thank you, but that's not going to count towards anything. Besides this goal right now, we will count that as the first contribution.
He's so likable. I don't understand it. Why do people not like this guy? He's not miserable. Despite what everybody says, he's happy. Alright, I lied. Here's my cat. Bill's just a boulder rolling downhill. Eventually he's gonna hit the bottom, so we can witness it. But until then, that's all I got for y'all today. Peace. It's so funny. Whenever somebody does a power move on the internet that works, there's always people out there that copy. Now, regardless how you feel on Charlie Kirk's political views, South Park recently did an episode about him, and he kind of owned the meme. He changed his picture to Eric Cartman, who was doing a parody of Charlie Kirk in one of the episodes, and rolled with the memes. And, you know, a lot of people on the internet was like, that's kind of how you do it. You just roll with the punches, you don't talk shit. Like, people are allowed to make fun of you on the internet. It's the internet. The reason I'm bringing this up is because recently, a creator on YouTube known as Meat Canyon, he does a lot of grotesque cartoon parodies, did the same thing with pirate software. Everybody loves to dump on pirate software right now, and mostly it's because of his own doing, but let's take a look at that real quick. Did you notice anything here? Well, if you didn't, this picture right here, Pirate Software's new profile picture, is the Meat Canyon parody of him. So he's trying to roll with the punches like he's getting the win here. For some reason, to me, given this guy's personality, everything that's been going on, it just comes off as a cornball move, and somehow you didn't win the internet with this one. That's my opinion. I think maybe he felt, oh shit, another creator's making fun of me, a big creator, let me go ahead and take this so I can own the meme too. To each his own on this one. But given this guy's history of always having to be right, correct people, you know, the things that he typically does when somebody questions anything about him, he took the opposite route this time. He rolled with the memes. He didn't try to prove people wrong. He didn't feel the need to say his point of view on this Meat Canyon cartoon. He went with it. And it just seems so out of character for him to do something like this that it looks stupid. We got another one here. Pretty funny. You might know Nova Online. If you don't, he's a lolcow, I guess, mental health advocate. He's been caught with like underage Discord, like weird stuff. You believe me, if you don't know him, good. Now, you may know this fella, you may not. This is Mutascale220. I hope I said your name right. Mutascale. My bad if I butchered it, but just what I do. In his bio, he says he's the lolcow sign guy. He was at, what was it, SummerSlam or something? A WWE event. Sorry if I butchered it, I don't know. I fell off from wrestling quite a while ago. So he's been known in the past to be at these events holding up signs of your favorite lolcows. And today, he was holding up this one. Absolutely wild. He was also in the background with this one, and this is DSP. All the camera was on the whole time. So big ups to this dude because, you know, takes a lot of balls. My only advice to the people that are on the receiving end of this, Nova and DSP, is do better and maybe these things won't happen to you. You know, be a better person, have a better presence on the internet. I'm not going to lie to y'all. When I first heard of World of T-Shirts, I watched some videos on him. I kind of felt bad. You know, I just felt he was in a situation where he didn't really have any control over it. He was just kind of roped in with these handlers, the people who put him in front of the screen, these people who push him into content creation. And it may not always be good content creation. A lot of times he's being laughed at in the benefit of other people. Mr. Based, for example, had his own live stream going while Josh would crash out and do things. And all Mr. Based would do is sit there and film it for his own content. And that's what we got going on here. Let's take a look at this clip real quick.
Josh, we're not going to go help the homeless or no?
We're not doing that. It's not my problem.
It's just a nice thing to do, Josh.
It's not good. Like, I graduated high school. I found a profession. I don't need to help them. You know, it's just, they have benefits that they can sign up for. You know, some of them are not homeless. Some of them are begging for drug money.
Yeah, but you'd be handing out contained food.
I know. It's a waste of time. It's
Now, the thing that gets me on this is you can hate on what Josh is saying all you want here. He's autistic, not that that's an excuse. And to be honest, I kind of blame the people that he's around. These handlers, they moral grandstand this guy. Like, why wouldn't you help the homeless, Josh? Well, they're sitting there filming him for their own content. And these people, like the guy who's handling Josh here, this is his goal, is to be successful at this. So he's going to take these clips and he's going to try to make money off them. And this isn't to say that I'm not blaming Josh. I think Josh should have a better perspective on life.
Hey Josh, is it the worst
What?
birthday ever?
Why would you call me poor? Who called me fucking poor?
Josh, stop.
Why would you
Josh,
call me
stop.
fucking
Josh,
poor?
Josh, don't hit
Yes,
him.
you did.
Josh, use your words.
Yes, you did.
Josh, use your words.
I heard you. What?
It wasn't me, Josh.
What? Am I going deaf? I heard you.
I think it was somebody over there, man.
Who? You call me poor?
Josh, it's fine, bro.
That's low. It's sick. How could you treat an innocent person like that? It's sick and inhumane.
And what do these people around him do? Film it. So I don't typically like to cover World of T-shirts. I'm enabling it, right? I'm showing you guys this stuff. So in some sense, like, I'm exposing more people to this lolcow crash out.